LeBron lives for these moments. Like it's something about these. I mean, he's a star. He's a superstar. This is what he wants. This is what he,
Yeah.
you know.
And Giannis, he's gonna come through on the big games. On the
Yeah.
bigger stages, he usually dominates. So on the Christmas games, I feel like he's gonna be motivated and
So I think if we can make sure that it's not close, we'll be good. But I don't know that we really truly have an answer for AD. Kristaps is great, but he's not AD. He is not AD, and he's not an AD.
Yes, hey, I'm icing the game like a free throw. I love when she talking the lingo. Wanna fuck on the freako. She says she bringing the Tito's. We hacking the game like a Chico. I'm a monster, it's time for the beast mode. Cracking your skulls like Debo. Straight to the strip, all singles. They peeping straight through the peephole. You a lame, you a dork, and bimbo.
Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. It's your boy Twan. We back with another episode of the Off Topic podcast. This is episode 9. I'm here to introduce my guests today for episode 9. We have my boy Josh, Jamaelo. They're back on this episode. Y'all can say what's up.
What's up? What's going on?
what's happening, yo?
Welcome back, everybody. So for this episode, primarily we just wanted to talk about the NBA Christmas games that's about to be shortly coming. So we're just going to say who we believe is going to pull out the win on Christmas Day. But before we begin, I would like to just throw out some NBA news that's been happening so far. To begin with, I would like to throw out the Clippers right now. So, prior to, I think, a few episodes back, even a couple of months back, we talked about how James Harden was going to the Clippers. A lot was said. I know for myself, I didn't think, the fit was going to be something that I didn't assume it would have worked so quickly. I would say that. But as we here stand today, the Clippers on a 9-game win streak, and the West is pretty tough. I would say the West has looked even more competitive than I've seen in years past. But the fact that the Clippers are pulling on a 9-game win streak right now says a lot about how they're trying to turn around. The script was saying that the Clippers wasn't going to figure it out, but lately they've been able to figure it out. So, do you guys have anything to say with the 9-game win streak so far with the Clippers?
As far as the Clippers, bro, that man James Harden said, "I am a system," forgive me if I misquoted, but you know what I mean. As far as I'm concerned, bro, that's aging pretty well right now because, like we've seen, he's been turning up. And any team with Harden going for 25, 30, and like 10, 15 assists to go with that, you're gonna win a lot of those games, bro. And trust me, I'm a Rockets fan, and I miss the Harden era. But back when he was in his prime, when he has games like that, you honestly feel like we're not losing to nobody. And you got that paired with Kawhi and Paul George and then Westbrook on the bench. If you know what I mean, like I'm glad it's working out for them because no, like I said, after you made that system comment, it's like, bro, you got to turn up. So we're gonna see how they do. Health is a big part.
For sure.
It's huge, and they have a lot of players in that team who weren't healthy but figured it out, and they got that Iron Man Westbrook, and I'm gonna actually call him Humble Man. Because the fact that he plays at the caliber that he plays and is cool with coming off the bench is insane. And it changed the dynamic of that team, like for the better. And the fact that Harden's playing like his old self, the fact that Kawhi is healthy, all that contributes to these win streaks. Like I don't know that they're necessarily a championship team in my eyes yet because the West is super stacked, but they're definitely a playoff team, without a doubt.
I definitely think the Clippers would be a team to sneak their way into even like a West Game Conference Finals matchup. I think the biggest thing that I've seen, lastly, I want to say on the Clippers was just you can tell that they're having so much fun together. Like they're enjoying each other, and I think the big move, like you said, Josh, to your point, Westbrook wanting to take the role to come off the bench, allowing opportunity, space, and just their offense to flow better with James Harden being in the lineup. I just recently seen a clip, I think today, of a play design they had. Everyone had a touch on it, and it ended with James Harden throwing a lob to Zubac, and I just was like, wow, like the offense looked great. Like it works. It works. So I'm definitely excited to see what happens with the Clippers. Another notable thing to talk about right now in the NBA right now is Ja Morant. That boy is back. He's back. So he's got that court stuff worked out. He's back in the league.
Yeah.
I with John Morant's return back, I think he made some noise to the whole league. He quickly reminded, how, I mean, nothing was gone from him. It was his presence. And I think now that John Morant is back, I think the league is definitely happy. I'm happy to see him back. We've missed just that excitement. I've missed Warriors
Yeah.
matchups with him and everything, but I think it's gonna be fun to see if you guys had anything for John Morant.
Uh, the Mark Phillips like Supreme Dreams video they
Yeah.
did about that junk was crazy funny.
Oh yeah.
They always hit the mark, man. That is so funny. But just about his actual performance, like I've I've been so impressed with him since he's got into the league. About his play, the whole controversy, drama, whatever, surprised me so much. I'm like, there's no way that this guy is doing this. But I think hopefully it was for the better. Taking that time off, getting his head right. Um, but I can't wait to see what he does the rest of the season. I expect to see numbers like that continuously.
Definitely.
So yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too. And that I'm very biased because he is on my fantasy team. So I hope he has a spectacular season. No,
Gotcha.
but no, for real though, 34 points back with a game winner. And I know people try to be like, "Oh, it's the Pelican." The Pelicans are not a scrub team, in my opinion. Like Josh was saying, the West is stacked. You know what I mean? They're no bum team. So 34 game winner in your debut, like it was. I'm happy to see Ja back in the league. Like you had mentioned, we need some more highlights. Not that we were, not that there weren't any before, but it's different with Ja.
Yeah, it is so much
But-
different. And then one last thing before we move on from John Morant, though, Grizzlies is a team that's on the bottom tier of West teams right now, just due to their record. Not, and I guess I would say talent. But do you guys? I guess my question is, do you think John Morant can force the Grizzlies to be in a position to be in a play-in tournament? I mean, he missed 25 games, roughly 25 games. There's still a good chunk of the season left. I mean, now that he's back, I mean, do you start? If you're Memphis, what do you do? Do you guys, go all in and see, what John Morant can do, or is this, take this season as like, we can get some pieces for next year, or the years to come, and just kind of start preparing themselves, or how do you guys feel about that?
I'm trying to look at their record. I would like to think that he could, but what are we 20 something games in the league? Hold on one second.
And they're
7-19.
7-19.
I feel like that's a lot to put on Ja, but I mean, hey, look, as we seen, last night, he does pretty well with the pressure. I mean, I'm sure that's something that's talked about. He's young. I don't know if he was like really a big injury prone guy, as far as I know he's had one before, but I don't, as long as he's healthy, and the people around him are healthy, I do think it's good for them to at least try to go for it. But if not, if they take that seat back and be like, hey, look, we just going, keep it cool or whatever, and just develop our younger guys. You guys they'll be setting themselves up for next year a lot better. You got some younger pieces, more people to get in that rotation, during playoffs, more weapons. So that'd be a good move for them as well to sit back and develop their youngins.
I agree. I totally agree with that. I would understand if that's the route they chose. Like, hey, we're already this, and we could definitely use some more pieces. We could definitely get some. But I think if it was up to Ja, I would make a complete statement. It was like, this is what things are like without me. This is what things are with me. So I would go all out to make sure that my team won, as long as the franchise was looking to allow that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there's a specific number like for the win? Like, say if they don't make it to the playoffs, if they're like, if Ja gets a certain amount of wins, are we kind of like, all right, it's respectable? Even though they didn't make the plans, he still came back, did his thing. Like, is there a number in mind? Or
to be honest, bro, if I was a coach, how I would look at it is like a monthly thing, and like, all right, our win percentage needs to be at this to get to that. I think I would just kind of break it down.
Yeah.
Not like you got to do it in like game by game. It's gonna have to be a game by game situation. If you're literally almost the bottom, like the worst team, like you got to one step at a time. And I think I think it would be like either like a bi-weekly goal or a monthly goal. I'm like, all right, look, this is how many wins we got. This is our schedule. Like, we can at least kind of like see what games we need to steal or what games that we should be
Mhm.
like, all right, like we need this, But that's how I would, how I would go about it.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think if they got to, I would say for me to think Ja is crazy good, they would have to get probably 38 wins this season for me to be like, man, he really is something else.
Ooh, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Right. And that's a good number though, like for considering
38,
how they
yeah.
started off the season. So,
yeah.
you know,
If
That's
they
a
ended
lot
with
of
right.
win.
38, I'd
That's
be
a
like, Ja,
lot of games.
yeah,
To say all of that, we're excited for John Morant to be back in the league. We definitely miss you, bro. Two quick things, with the NBA before we get into the Christmas games. I did want to bring up Draymond's suspension. We don't have to. I mean, we can speak on the matter, but the whole thing is that originally Draymond was suspended indefinitely. But the latest that I've heard is that he will be definitely out for 3 weeks for sure. So we'll see, after the 3 week mark if they're going to extend that or not, because it is still indefinite. But Draymond, we love you, bro. It's just I don't know what to say. It's hard for me to speak on it because of just being the Warriors. I think the only thing that if I could tell him, I'd be like, Dre, like whenever these moments happen, you don't get hurt. We get hurt. Like whenever you leave, we lose. Like we're having to redefine ourselves. Like, I mean, no, I will bring this up. We did have a great win against Boston, but to bring that game up though, in the thumbs up, that's crazy. The whole thing with like watching that game is I just seen so much areas in the Warriors offense and defense that we're still just like it's you have to put respect on Draymond because he filled a lot of those roles on our team. Rebounding was number one, and that was one thing I noticed that we're going to struggle with. But if there's anything you guys have to say about it, you guys can.
Go play football or go to the UFC, bro. Because what the fuck are you doing in the league?
that man played
I
prison
mean,
ball.
bro, old dogs are set in their ways, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
really don't
tough.
think he's gonna change. He already got his 4 rings. He's he's certified vet. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he toward the end of his career.
Yeah.
I think he just gonna say fuck it and
It's tough, bro. Like it's tough. What do you have anything, Josh, before I go?
Yeah, I just think I run into this because I do a lot of work in like children's sports and stuff like that, and he acts like a little kid. You know what I mean? Just like some of the things that he's doing, it just seems like immaturity more so than this violent, aggressive grown man. Like you gotta grow up, bro. You can't respond like this. You're an adult.
Yeah, you can't respond like this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's it's just unfortunate. I will say that, and it's already not a good rep for him for his reputation because of a whole plethora of things that Draymond has already done, and like it has put me as a fan like I'm like wow like I cannot defend Draymond anymore like I can I just literally I have fought and defended him on when he stomped on Sabonis. I would still fight against that because I'm like if he's on my ankle, I'm gonna stomp on him too, like but now it's gotten to a point now it's like man, well, what do you say now? Like it's just so unfortunate, and I agree with the suspension. I agree with him taking time away. I agree with him just reevaluating. Because I mean, as we've seen with John Morant's situation, a lot of things sprouted up for him. He's had to take his time to just reevaluate. And we're expecting great things now that he's back in the league. But it's like Draymond, like where he's at in his career, it's like dude, if you don't get it right here with the Warriors, nobody in the league is going to want you. Nobody's not going to want you as a vet on their team. 4 wings or not, we know what to expect when you come in the locker room. So
Yeah.
gloves up.
Yeah, I think what I see in him is the perfect understanding of the difference between just aggressive, which is good, and then violent, which is bad. I can't trust him to be on the team because now you're a danger. I don't want nobody who's dangerous on my team. I want everybody to play aggressive, but once you're dangerous, it's like, well, that ends up being bad for everybody in the league in total,
So we'll see what happens with Dre. Well, I'm sure we'll revisit all this again towards the end of the season. And then lastly, before we get to the Christmas games, to put respect to Boston though, Boston is leading in the East with a record of 20-6, and then the Timberwolves are leading in the West with 20-5. I'm gonna just open the floor for you guys just to speak on Timberwolves or Boston and or
Oh,
just
you
kind of give
you
it
can speak on Boston. I already know you want. Go ahead, bro. You got that.
I was worried coming into this season because I didn't fully trust Joe Mazzulla to be 100% real. But Missoula ball seems to be working out. He's got the right pieces on the team to make it happen. Derek White has stepped up crazy, multiple 30-point games this year. I love that. And somebody online today was like, I wonder if Jason Tatum was holding him back, like he was averaging probably 12 points and stuff. And now that Jason Tatum was out last night against the Kings, he has another 30 piece. So I'm like, oh, wait, what is it? I hope they were joking, but it might be something to that. You know what I mean? A lot of touches, a lot of misses. I'm not gonna lie, and he's great. I'm not trying to disrespect him, but I'm just saying what I see. I think that loss to the stinking Warriors, it makes me so mad because we can beat any team, but then it seems like we shy away and just we become more observant than we are engaged in Warriors games. And what my theory is that since we are young as a whole, grew up in that era where they were the dynasty. Everybody's kind of awestruck and starstruck looking at like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson play together and stuff. And yeah, we played y'all in the finals, but I feel like we had the same results. Like we get caught watching and kind of awestruck. There's multiple plays I see people getting crossed and driven by because we're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like that's the vibe I get from us when we play against y'all. I think we're a great team, but we got to mature, test our greatness against greatness in order to see, to see some results and championships.
This is y'all year, man. This is y'all's year for real. Like I said, I feel like on paper you guys got the best lineup. You guys have so many weapons, bro. Too many weapons for it to be like for it to not work out. Like I remember you had said in the last podcast that the Bucks, when they traded Drew Holiday away for Dame, you said they got rid of their shield for a sword. Well, Boston, they got two swords, and they picked up Porzingis for number 3, and then you get Drew Holiday on top of that. So I feel like y'all are an easy or like a clear-cut favorite in the East. So I mean, and y'all have proven it, but that you guys are elite in the league. But yeah, this is y'all year to do it, man. So we're gonna see.
I really hope so. Much love.
One thing I did want to say with Boston, two things actually you said, Josh. First being with Derek White, to revisit, the game with the Warriors. I mean, he had like more than 6 threes that game. I did not know the man was lights out like that. Like turnovers and like just was shooting the lights out. And I think that's because he's shooting the way he's also. I mean, he's benefiting towards Boston already. They don't have to rely on JB and JT to, every night. When you got pieces around you, like you said, there's a whole team of, people that defend, score, and just are just coachable. So I think that's great. And then I know no one didn't, speak on Timberwolves, but they are leading in the West. I think that it's something to be said. I know the West actually, I know in like another 2 more weeks, it's probably going to look different. But they are competing with, Dallas Mavericks. They're competing against the Lakers, Nuggets, and to be at the top spot, that was always Denver. That was a Denver thing. That was a regular season West Denver thing. Like in Timberwolves, Ant, Cat, Rudy Gobert, it seems like, they got it working out for them in Minnesota. But kudos to both, Timberwolves and Boston so far. So, yeah.
I do want to say about the Timberwolves, it surprised me a lot. I think Anthony Edwards' leap, his continuous leaps, have been crazy. He's getting a lot of Michael Jordan comparisons in terms of play style, not necessarily an impact on the game or whatever, but I think that is truly inspiring. Like that kid has got it going on, and he knows it. I love a player that plays with confidence, and he's young and doing it, and he takes I think the physical aspect of things seriously. You can see that man's physique is no joke. He's big, strong, and fast. Does his thing. Very skilled for his size and everything. So I love the way that he leads that team. Took over a situation like that where you have people like Cat who are supposed to be great, and don't care that much about winning, it seems like. But he's like great and cares about winning, and then has the LeBron effect on that team where they're rising to the occasion a lot of the time. So I think, it's really cool to watch.
But yeah, so we're gonna talk about the NBA Christmas games. I'm just gonna say the matchups in order based off how they're being aired on the day of Christmas. We're just gonna say who we believe is gonna pull out that win. If we want to say put facts or opinions behind that, we can. But to start off for Christmas on Christmas Day, the Christmas games, we have Milwaukee Bucks versus New York Knicks. Um, I'm gonna just throw. I'm actually gonna do this one differently, and I'm actually gonna go with New York on this one. I think New
Mm.
York may actually have a lot of potential to not. I think New York is going to be my pick. Even coming out of the East to even make it to the East Conference Finals. And I'm saying finals, but I think they can make it to the conference finals. Jalen Brunson. I'm in favor of just his game, his ball handling, and just his court vision on the floor. But specifically for when it comes for this coming Monday for Christmas, I think the Knicks may pull that one out.
I'm gonna go with the favorite, of course.
Okay.
Milwaukee. I think they just faced off. What was it, about like a week ago or so? Uh, in Milwaukee, just destroy. I mean, or let me not say destroy, because some people may be like, oh, they didn't get killed, but
Yeah.
just seeing, although they did get rid of their defense, Milwaukee or whatever. Dame and Giannis, I've seen enough games this season where when they both go off, they look unstoppable. Like I don't. So against the Knicks, I don't. Personally, I don't have a lot of faith in them just because of what I've recently seen, but just how they're built. Like and Giannis, he's gonna come through on the big games. On the
Yeah.
bigger stages, he usually dominates. So on the Christmas games, I feel like he's gonna be motivated, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bucks as well, because I know how their two top performers perform in big moments. So I think I have to go them. But I do think Jalen Brunson has that same effect. You know what I mean? That dog in him. Like, oh, the lights are on. Let's get to it. I
Mm-hmm.
think he has that. He
Yeah.
for sure has that. But I don't think Julius Randle has it. So that's why I have to go Bucks.
That's fair. I think it's going to be a fun battle though with Dame and Jalen. That's probably going to be that to start off Christmas. I think that matchup is probably the best pick for that.
Yeah.
And then to
Yeah.
follow behind that, we have the Warriors versus Nuggets. Um,
Who you
uh,
got, bro?
What's so
so
funny?
I'm going to just say the Warriors.
All
um,
You a real one.
All right. Whew, I just think, you know, I'm gonna challenge the Warriors for this game. I want to challenge them because, our rookie Jackson Davis. I know he had a good game against Boston, but I think it's going to be a good challenge for him to work against a better, not a better, sorry, but a this is we're going to see the West. This is the West, and I need him to be challenged against somebody from the West, and that being Joker. So we have our rookie. I think it's going to be fun to see Jonathan Kaminga is starting to flourish a little bit better. So I'll be, and he's going to live up to a Christmas game. I think a lot of these young guys, this is going to be a big opportunity. They're going to be very excited, but I think this would be something that they want to perform well in. And I mean. Clay did not have a great start, but Clay recently, the last few games, he has been hot. And whenever Clay is hot like this, in years past, it's continued out, through a stretch. He may have one more slump. I'm still gonna say he's gonna have one more slump in like the second half of the season, and he might, bring it back. But right now, Clay has been hot. Steph's been cool. I would love to see them just, steal one from the Nuggets on Christmas Day.
I think it's possible. I think it's truly possible. I don't think it's probable. But I'm gonna have to go Denver just because I've seen the consistency with that team. They play great
Mm.
all the time. Who's at home for that one?
It should be Denver. Yeah, it's Denver. It's Denver for that game.
And I'm gonna have to go Denver.
Yeah.
Yep, I see. As long as everybody's healthy and they're playing at home, I have to bet on them. That's all I have to say about that one.
Honestly, I'll roll with you on the Warriors, man. They're coming off that big game with Boston, so they're
Mhm,
going into the Christmas game with some momentum.
mhm.
So I do, and as we can see against, like I said, the Celtics, no joke, probably, if not the best, second, third best in the league, and Warriors pulled it out.
Yeah.
Without Draymond,
Yeah.
so I think that's good for them for their morale. And like I said, just going in with momentum, I'll roll with them as the winner for that
For
game.
sure. That one should be fun. And then we have a great classic for the NBA Christmas game. We have Boston Celtics versus Los Angeles Lakers, a classic for Christmas. Um, this one is kind of tough for me
Mhm.
because in moments I have faith with the Lakers, but in more moments I trust Boston more.
Mhm.
Um, but it's something about when LeBron plays the Celtics, and it's like Christmas. It's just a different. It's a different. I'm gonna go with Lakers. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go with Lakers because when I
Uh,
say it now, I'm thinking back. It's LeBron lives for these moments. Like it's something about these. I mean, he's a star. He's a superstar. This is what he wants. This is what he
yeah.
you know. He
Yep.
probably told the NBA to give them to Boston. Like he probably set that up. But I'm gonna go with the
Yeah.
Lakers just because I think LeBron is just gonna perform, and I think AD might have a good night. I know Boston's going to be tough. Boston is just a tough team to go against. But when you have a Lakers lineup like just as good as Boston, Lakers have size. They have so much size on their side of the floor that I think that they may be able to pull it out. And I think LA is a home on this one too. So that's going to be. I feel like it's important when it comes to Christmas games and big events. But I'm
Yeah.
going Lakers.
I
Melo.
will. I'll go with the Lakers as well for that. For that pretty much same reason, man. Braun, he lives for these moments. I mean, we just saw the in season tournament, the first one ever.
Mhm.
No matter some people say it was scripted.
Yeah.
We're gonna try not to ruin the entertainment part of that, but let's just take it for face value, right? Bro, Braun lived up to the hype and said, "We're gonna get this first cup."
Yeah.
And like you said, in previous, you know, Christmas games, this is what Braun like. This is where he's gonna show out. And so, I do like how they're looking. Of course, AD he's been balling out this season. Uh, I remember he said in the beginning of or before the season, he said, "Look, I'm gonna try and play." I think what he said like
Uh,
82 game or all 82.
yeah.
Now, do we believe that?
No.
I don't know,
No.
but I mean, I still feel like what he's been doing though. I think Bron went in the locker room and whooped his what I'm saying, AWS like they did back in Kentucky. Because
Yeah.
AD
Bro.
balling, bro.
And,
I'm like, okay,
and,
Bron
and he said,
Bron put his hands on him.
ah.
You know what I mean? That's what had to happen. So I like the Lakers, bro.
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
bet. Go ahead, Josh. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yes, sir. Boston. Well, I guess that's
Boston.
self-explanatory. But I will give you the floor. It is against LA, LeBron and AD and them. Just assuming that AD starts off hot. How do you guys? Or how do you feel? With that matchup.
I'll say my confidence comes from me being a fan, not because of the matchups.
Okay.
It's just I really do hope they win to the point where I know they'll win. It's not looking at stat for stat, and definitely not our performances against LeBron. I think a lot of times we push him to a limit, but then he is such a winner that a lot of the times he'll end up winning those games if they're close at all.
Mhm.
Um, so I think if we can make sure that it's not close, um, we'll be good. But I don't know that we really truly have an answer for AD. Kristaps is great,
Mhm.
but he's not AD. He is not AD, and he's not an AD stopper. So we'll figure it out. I think I kind of trust Joe Mazzulla to make adjustments now. I think I trust him a lot more than I did last year, and we did the last time we saw them. We won, but that doesn't say anything about what could happen this year. So we'll see. I know Jason Tatum. A lot of times after he loses a game and plays bad, he goes on a win, just a tear where he's scoring high 20s, low 30s.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some of that. Plus he's playing on a big night and he likes that sometimes. So
I will
that
say
could
one
be
last
fun.
thing too with JT, man. I will still say I feel like I still don't give him enough credit, but his game it's just so calm. It's just so
Calm.
just like it's effortless. It really is sometimes. And and when it's crazy when you see JT getting hot too. It's a different kind of hot. Like it's just it's just a different animal. With him. And I still think he would be the determining factor for I feel like Boston winning on Christmas against the Lakers. It's going to come down to him. The next matchup after the Lakers and Celtics, we have the 76ers versus Miami Heat. I'm gonna easily just say Sixers on this one. Joel Embiid is coming off a 50-point game the other night. I just need y'all to know that.
On my fantasy team, I know that.
I'm just saying, like, bro is hooping. But I think Sixers are just a more complete team against Miami. I know Tyler Hero just came back with Miami and everything. Miami is going to be Miami with Jimmy Butler. They're not a team that I just discredit, but I'm gonna go way in favor for Sixers for this matchup though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same
yeah.
Sixers for sure. Just because of Embiid alone, like he's on. It's looking like he's on another MVP tear. Again trying to get his name in the hat there. So with going into the Christmas game, the big stage once again, against Miami, I think they're gonna come out with that one.
Yeah, that's a bet for sure. But I can never truly sleep on Miami because Jimmy knows how to win. It's not necessarily that his team's good, but Miami is always better than their record, as shown by was that last year or 2 years ago where they went
last year. They
from a play.
It feels like the last 3 years or since Jimmy's been with Miami since back to the bubble, bro. Like,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They can go from a playing team all the way to the championship. So like they just come alive in big moments. So it's a Christmas game playing against his old team. So I could see him going off, and he has that. Whenever he's doing that, he has that LeBron effect on his team where everybody plays well. So,
oh yeah,
we'll see.
And then lastly, to finish the NBA Christmas games that night, we're gonna have Dallas Mavericks play the Phoenix Suns, which I always feel like the Mavs and Suns games are always like great games, especially the last couple years or last few seasons have been pretty fun to watch. I'm going to actually go with Dallas for this matchup, though. I still think, from what I've seen right now with Phoenix, I think D-Book there's no issue with D-Book. I just think, and there's not really no real issue with KD. I just think defensively, I don't think they're good defensively. But I think they just haven't figured it out yet, just quite yet. I think it's still early for Phoenix right now. I think they're still going to be a good team by the time the season ends, but I just don't think they've figured it out yet. Whereas Dallas is on a tear. They were just leading in the West, so they're surely under Timberwolves. I'm sure they are. And I think Luka has just been, they keep talking about, him being back, as a new father. He's been hooping every game, and like it's, Luka's been hooping. This is still without Kyrie. I mean, literally as recent as me going to the Dallas and Lakers game, Dante Exum, a name that we know about him, but it's like, man, like his role for Dallas right now is perfect right now. Derek Lively's got himself to the starting role. It's just they look good. They look really, really good. So I'm gonna have to go with Dallas for that last matchup for Christmas on that one.
Yeah. Well,
I'll just say I'm kind of disappointed in what's going on in Phoenix right now. Not that they're a bad team by any stretch, but the amount of games I expect them to win, and the level of what am I trying to say? How deep they make it into the playoffs? This dog don't. Oh, my bad. They consistently kind of let me down, and I do say Dallas for this game for sure, but I'm like I really do expect more from the Suns at some point.
Yeah. I'm also going Dallas because headband Luka. I know they said he's been getting buckets, as a newfound father, but ever since he put on that little shoestring around his head, bro, he's been, he's been a monster.
Bro.
So
He's been looking European again.
Yeah, so yeah, no, they're my favorites to win. And then of course, we love the Luka and Booker matchup, their little rivalry they got going on. And Luka's been winning that one, so we'll see if D-Book can get his get back. But I like Dallas to win this matchup.
It's funny because it's funny because they like to pretend like there's no beef, but there's definitely beef between those matchups. Like you can tell, like you can watch the game and tell like it's a little bit more chippier or it's a little bit more, a little bit more aggressive than normal. Like y'all know what's up, bro. Like y'all trying to outperform each other. So, but Christmas games are gonna be fun this year. I mean, it's a lot of big teams. I mean, every year it seems like they always get the right matchups, but it seems like this year they got it right on the dot. But we're definitely going to stay tuned to see what happens on the NBA Christmas games. But this is just all that we wanted to speak on for episode 9. My boy Josh, Jamaelo. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and being here as guests today. But other than that, man, we're going to go ahead and let everybody go. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my boy Josh with his training fitness page. I know he has a lot of things coming up soon. And my boy Jamaelo, he's doing the traveling. He's out here streaming. He's doing the YouTube, the TikTok. So
I'm trying to be like you, bro. That's all. I'm following your footsteps.
Oh, no, I'm trying to be like you, dog. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Much love. Until next time. See y'all on the next one. Yes, sir.